Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Security IQ. My name is Elisa. If you don't know me, Min, say hello.
Hi, everybody. This is Min.
And today we have Nicole Barkas on.
Hey, everybody.
Min, why don't you introduce Nicole, Min, since you and her have a history?
So, Nicole, yeah, it's an interesting history. So as everybody knows, my last name obviously is a Greek last name. And yes, I am. What would I say? I'm the Chinese with a Greek last name, or the adopted.
You're not Greek?
Oh no, damn!
I'm just finding this out now. You're not Greek?
No, I am so sorry. But regardless of that, Nicole and I are pretty much cousins, right? You might
yeah, pretty much. If we do this extended Greek family thing, yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to Stephanie for introducing Nicole to me, and because I work in
Steph.
Enough said. Nicole is in law enforcement. We hit it off. We got together. We started chatting, and I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to get her on Security IQ to talk to everybody about her experiences in law enforcement. I'm not going to say where. I'll let Nicole, if you want to say a few words about yourself, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Barkas. I am in law enforcement. I'm not going to discuss who I work for, but I do work in New York City, and I do love what I do, or at least I used to love what I did. I just find that in today's time and place, and the era that we're living in, it is very difficult to be in law enforcement and to navigate the waters, so to speak, of working and balancing the work, the family life, and the challenges that are being presented to us out there in society at this point. And I am, on top of all of it, a certified Haponopono practitioner, as well as got a master's in forensic psychology, which I believe I do nothing with. So, you know.
Listen, to deal with society today, I feel like everybody needs some sort of psychology degree. No question.
Let's not go there, because otherwise I'd be messing with everybody's head.
You're right.
Yeah, you would take so much fun with messing with people's heads. I feel like we're living in a big psyops operation.
Totally.
For anyone who doesn't know what psyops is, it's the psychological getting in the head that the military does to people. So it feels like we're living in a psyops, and I don't know which end is up anymore, so to speak.
Well, speaking of getting into people's head, let's talk a little bit about Haponopono. I'm sure less people know about the practice of Haponopono than they do about the craziness that's going on in the world and law enforcement. So explain a little bit about that to the audience and tell us how you got into it. And just for the audience, if you've listened to our WISE webinar, Nicole was gracious enough to jump on and talk a little bit about wellness in the law enforcement community and how she found Haponopono, which I think everyone really found interesting. So I'm going to ask her to reiterate and share a little bit more about that experience.
Thank you.
I think I said it right, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, good.
You say that you do that really, really good.
I need to get some scotches in before I even start pronouncing that. I'm going to say that. But
so it's called Haponopono. It is an ancient Hawaiian art of clearing blockages. And, you know, you're clearing blockages throughout the history of your ancestry. And it's based on 4 phrases that has been done by, I can't remember the woman's name. I'm drawing a blank, but it used to be that the whole family would come together. When families would have an argument and a disagreement, the whole family would come together to clear these blockages. And now they've basically made it so that one person can clear the blockages. It's kind of evolved over the years, and it's based on 4 phrases. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. And it's being the repetitiousness of saying these 4 phrases to clear the blockages, to clear whatever has come in the way that's causing you to feel a certain way. Because it's between it seems like whatever's going on is between you and me, and has been going, and this repetitive pattern has been going on throughout history and throughout the generations. I came into Haponopono because I was struggling at work, and I was struggling with hating life, being angry all the time, being miserable. And I said, this isn't how I used to be. This isn't how life is. This isn't what life is about. And I started to look for other things to help me get past being angry and being the victim. And being like, why is everyone always mean to me? Why is this always happening to me? Why does everyone hate me? What is it about me that people, and, we need to shift from this victim mentality, which seems to be prevalent, and we need to own our own nonsense. And Haponopono makes you own your own stuff. And some people are ready for that and some people aren't. So I started taking classes in Silva, in which you do like meditation, and you visualize the challenge or the problem that you perceive that's in front of you, and you visualize the outcome that you want. And then that led me down a road to self-healing and finding Lois Hayes and how to heal yourself, and discovering that everything that we feel emotionally, that emotionally charges us, creates a physical ailment. So dis-ease in our body is creating disease in our body. So, and if you look at the word disease and you separate it, it's dis and ease, disease, dis-ease. And the dis-ease that we're feeling is based on emotional reactions that we're having to situations in our life, which will then manifest itself, if held for too long of a time, into a physical ailment in our bodies, because our bodies can't clear this, and if we don't learn how to let it go, our bodies can't clear it, and then we physically become sick. And then that led me into Haponopono. And it's kind of amazing that this has been like a 10-year journey to get here. So this didn't happen overnight.
Okay. So this was pre-kids then, because I was going to ask, like, when did you go into this practice? I'm not going to attempt saying that word because I know I'm going to really Haponopono. I became a Haponopono practitioner during COVID because I had, beforehand.
The Haponopono practice I started to do during COVID. I became a practitioner during COVID. I had read about it before, but I decided to get certified in it during this time of COVID.
Okay.
Because it just spoke to me and it felt like this was the right time to do it. Prior to that, it was the Silva, it was Lois Hayes, it was finding, and all these little things I think all fell into place when they were supposed to fall into place. For those of us out there that are spiritual, if God leads you to it, he will lead you through it. And everything.
Or that old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right?
Yes. And that's the other one. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I feel like at different points in time in my life, I was meant to learn different lessons to help bring me to this point in my life. And it's amazing because this helps my children as well. And it's amazing that when you do and you practice Haponopono, not only do you experience the benefits of Haponopono, but the people around you that you love experience the benefits of it as well.
So I actually have quite a history with TM. I don't know if you're familiar with TM, but you mentioned meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm in total agreement with you, and I know nothing about Haponopono except for what you've already shared, but I'm in total agreement in that the bodily manifestations of stress or any illness does come from, not just a virus or this or that. I think your body has to be primed for
taking the stress in.
Yeah, allowing the imbalance, you know what I mean? And while I'm sure there are some scenarios where, you know, there's too much environmentally, where if we're going to talk about, I'm a little bit of a science geek, but if we're going to talk about epigenetics and all stuff like that, sure, the environment absolutely has an influence, but it does, a lot of it also, the balance piece of it does come from the inside. So if your immune system is rock solid, if you're not stressed out, if you know, if your cortisol levels are in check, you can fight off whatever it is you need to fight off. So I'm 100% in agreement. And if you look at any of the TM science, the science behind TM, and you look at those cortisol levels or the hormone levels and what that does to blood pressure, or even just the clarity of mind, there is so much. I think it was, I'm going to quote Chris Voss, who is also former law enforcement. I'm absolutely obsessed with him. If you don't know
He
who
wrote,
he is,
didn't he write?
Never Split the Difference.
Yes, I read his book. Amazing.
I took his masterclass. He is just, I am not one to be starstruck, but if I met him, I think I would die. I love him. He's brilliant.
Where did you take his master class?
Oh, it's online. You can just take it. It's
Oh, okay. Because that's something I would totally.
It is so worth it. He is brilliant. Yeah, absolutely love him. And he is also a meditator. So here's this badass hostage negotiator that also believes in meditation and the clarity of mind. And one of the things he teaches is you are 31% smarter if you're in a better frame of mind. So there is a ton of science behind all of these, we'll call them spiritual practices, because they, you know, when people hear about them, they tend to think, well, this is spiritual, but they don't see the connection with the science and all the data that backs it up, because they just say, oh, it's just a spirit, it's a religious thing, or it's, you know, it's a cult, or it's this or that.
Totally not religious if you think about it. I mean, the reality is people, I run, so I'm a runner. I go running in the morning because it's a de-stressor for me. There's people who actually become addicted to eating and other things because they're stressed. They're emotional eaters, or it's all emotion at the end of the day. But there, to your point, there are a lot of scientific proof that said that people who run because of getting out of stress do have a clearer mind. They're easier. They function much better in the mornings. They're more alert during work, and you know, adrenaline kicks right in. And I think in a way with the meditation, it's similar. It just calms your mind. Running calms me down. So, you know, I don't meditate. I think I'm like this. If people probably think I'm like crazy and constantly caffeine. I have quit coffee for a long time. So can't blame caffeine for that. But the running does help. And I think anyone that's interested in actually really purging themselves of the stress, everybody's going to get stressed. We're all stressed.
Well, Min, you do what's called a moving meditation.
Well,
you don't realize because you're running and you're clearing your mind. And that's exactly what meditation is. It is clearing your mind. Yeah. It is allowing, and this is what Haponopono, it is clearing your mind, clearing the blockages, and allowing you to connect with everything in the universe. It's quieting the mind down, which allows you to allow everything in the universe and to be in the moment. How often are we in the moment?
When my kids are
and just be present, and that's what running allows you to do, to be in the moment. And as you're working past the pain of your shin splints, as you're working past the pain of the knees pounding, you know, the feet pounding the pavement, you're in your own space, and it's clear, it's clarity. And that's what you derive from that. And it's a moving meditation.
So explain how those four phrases you said, I love you, I'm sorry, how do they actually clear say them one more time? I'm sorry.
It's I love you, right. I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. So when you're saying I love you, you're saying I love you. And for those of you who believe in God, for those of you who believe in, like, you know, the universe, for those of you who believe in something out there that is greater than us, whatever you may call it,
right?
You're saying I love you to the divine, okay? To whatever is bigger than us. I'm sorry. When you say I'm sorry, you're saying I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I forgot that you love me. I'm sorry for anything that I have done that has caused this problem. I'm sorry for the way I behave, because you're owning it. You're owning whatever it is that you're sorry for. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Please forgive me. Forgive me for whatever I've done. Forgive me for forgetting that you love me. Forgive me for forgetting and that I misspoke against someone. And then thank you. You're sending that great karma back out there. Thank you. Thank you. You're thanking the divine, or you're thanking that which is greater than you, or you're thanking that which is out there in the universe. And if you believe in karma, and I've had my friends tell me, oh, you're into the woo-woo science. That's what they like to call this, woo-woo science. And when you say thank you, it's like, and you do this over and over and over again to clear those blockages. And Fiona, my daughter, who's just turned 6 yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yes, she is, and unfortunately we didn't have a birthday party due to this whole scenario we're living in. Fiona, I taught her these 4 phrases, and that child Haponopono's like that. Like if she's having an issue, I say Haponopono it, and she goes like, okay, mommy, I'll do Haponopono and cartwheels. But because she's a child, and children, if you ever look at children and their play, children automatically can have an argument with someone and 2 seconds later be
They're
over
fine.
it, let it
Yeah.
go.
Yes.
Okay, which we as adults don't do. We hold on to that anger. We hold on to that and we allow it to eat us alive. Children don't. So when she needs to clear a blockage, she can clear it almost instantaneously and move forward. And then we don't look back at it. And for her, it's amazing because kids are that still connected to divinity, or that's still connected to everything else out there. Because if you believe in the group think, or that, this group, there's also this thought process that there's a group, like when you're born, you're just born innately knowing certain things because of you're interconnected to everyone on this planet.
Right.
And Haponopono also states that you are the physical manifestation of everything you see. So it's just you, and this is your world that you have created.
Yeah.
And so it's all a projection of you. And it's a very difficult concept to grasp if you're not ready to grasp it. Because to think that you're responsible for the state of the world the way it is right now, you're like, I can't be responsible for all of this. And Haponopono makes you responsible because this is your world. And you can change this world. Whoa, Min, Chinese characters.
Sorry.
Huh?
I like my Chinese. Anyway.
I lost it for a second. So it makes you responsible for everything you see in the world. And a lot of people don't want to own anything that they see, or like, well, I can't be a part of this, or I'm not playing a part of this. Well, we're all playing a part of this, and we all need to own it, and we all need to clear on it. Right. And I think kids are better at clearing at things in their world than we are, because they're just less bombarded with the knowledge, because Haponopono also has this concept of knowledge versus wisdom. Knowledge is that which we are taught. Wisdom is that which comes to us from somewhere else, which we inherently, which we could call an inner knowing. That would be wisdom. Whereas knowledge is the stuff that we are drilled into us. And children have not been drilled in or beaten down into submission just yet by us adults until, and it's us adults who ruin children. We ruin children, if you think about it. And people look at me and be like, what are you on about? You're nuts, you're crazy. But when you look at a child, when they are born, and all they know is love. That's all they know. And all they give is love. Yeah. And they instantaneously get over being angry. Right. Like they get upset because something didn't go their way. Okay, because something didn't go their way. But the only way they communicate is through their feelings.
Well,
And
listen,
children-
I just took my son for a haircut today, and let me tell you, he hung on to that for a little while. He was not happy, but that's a different story.
You cut his long hair? You cut his COVID hair?
Oh my God, dude. It was so long, and it needed to go, and he hates. He's so easygoing. He's so laid back. He's just like, easy kid.
Lemon and
But
Irish cream.
when we pull into that parking lot, he knows, and he is just like, no shot. I can give him lollipops, balloons, whatever, and he is just not a happy camper. But with that being said, that is a great way to end this segment.
Yes.
Are you taking clients, Nicole? What's the last word on this segment for the audience? Are you teaching this?
I have not started taking clients, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't be willing to take clients and help people. And, I totally would be willing to help people. I think it's taken me a long time to find my purpose in this world. And I think my purpose is to help other people and help them navigate life. And I would love to start taking on clients and helping people find that which will give them some sort of sense of peace and they're willing to work through.
So how would they
particularly sorry, no, I was going to say particularly other law enforcement professionals could definitely benefit.
Other law enforcement, if they need help, this is a no judgment zone. This is not working with one of your psychologists or working with an EAP person at work,
Nothing will be put into your file for this.
Nothing's put into
right.
hearing them like that.
Nothing's being put into your file. So if they need someone they need to talk to and whatever, I'm here to listen, and maybe we can Haponopono or do EFT. I didn't get a degree in EFT, but I do know how to do EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, based on the meridians of the body. Maybe they just need that to help, and a combination of everything to help lower the stress, help put them in a better frame of mind, and help get them centered. And now now departments are starting to realize, other law enforcement departments are starting to realize, and even my job has realized, that there is a need for meditation and for finding that space.
If there was ever
clarity of mind.
Yeah, if there was ever a need for, any kind of de-stressing practices for law enforcement, now is definitely the time, no question.
Exactly.
And I am a supporter of law enforcement, and that one is one thing I will proudly say. I do love my law enforcement folks, and my military. So, I love to put this stuff out there. If anyone wants to connect with Nicole, have questions, we're going to post her. You're on LinkedIn, right, Nicole?
No, I'm not, but you can
You're
feel
not?
free to post my email address and just have them in the subject line. Just
Okay, perfect.
All right. I have your email. We'll include that.
Okay, great. Any last words, Min, before we close up this segment?
Yeah, I think Nicole, thank you for talking about the practice. I'm not going to say the word. Haponopono.
Haponopono.
Haponopono. Jesus, it's worse than repeating a Greek last name. Let me put it that way.
Wait, Min, how long did it take you to nail Kyrianis?
That was an easy one.
I was going to say that you could take that two ways.
I was not going to go there, but thank you very much.
Wait, they hated each other at first.
I know, I've heard that story, yeah.
That's a long story. We could talk about that another time. But no, I think it's great that you came on here. We all want to support each other, and also the law enforcement community, especially during these trying times and what they've been doing. And the other one for me, but thank you, Nicole, for coming on. And obviously, Security IQ. This is my little one, Marina Kyrianis. Say hi, wave, hi. Okay. So thank you very much for Nicole for the segment.
All right, thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Bye.